what you think, America. Give me a call at 1-800-522-8673. Tonight's guest plays a president struggling with the immigration problem on HBO's The Second Civil War. On Saturday Night Live and News Radio, he's treated us to more wacky characters than Ellis Island. A good friend of mine, Phil Hartman. Phil.
What up, D?
You're over here, baby.
Thank you.
Well, all right, Felipe, good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
How's Bryn? How's the little ones?
Everything's peachy. I'm starting my summer hiatus and very happy to be out of the primetime shit twister.
What's the word over there? Littlefield gonna give it another season?
I don't know. It's anybody's call, really. At this point, I just want to surf, man.
All right, Moondoggy. Now, I understand this. I haven't seen it yet because it's on HBO. I don't get HBO, but I have. Second Civil War is about a parody of what happens if immigration goes unchecked. What are your views on it personally?
On the film, Second Civil War? On immigration? Well, I am an immigrant. I came to this country in 1957 from a terrible hostile regime in Canada with my family, and then after hanging around for some 33 some odd years, I decided to become a U.S. citizen, and now I'm one of you, Americans. So I certainly don't oppose immigration, but what's fascinating about this subject, and it's one of the things that's touched upon in the movie The Second Civil War, is that you cannot even discuss this subject without being considered a racist in this country. And the immigration policy in the United States is the most liberal in the world. 800,000 people a year enter the United States legally, 900,000, and maybe another 200,000 or 300,000 illegally. And no other country tolerates that kind of illegal immigration or that kind of mass influx through their borders. If you discuss the idea of immigration reform in Congress, all hell comes down on you. And consequently, no one is trying to solve this problem, if it is a problem. In my opinion, I feel it is a problem. And actually, it is people like myself, legal immigrants, who are most upset about the insane policies that allow this illegal influx to
you know,
take
Congress,
place.
you look up at Capitol Hill, it's like that Escher print of the birds flying together. You know, it makes no sense, and occasionally it shits on your head. Now, what would you do to straighten out immigration in this country? Or do you feel it needs straightened out? Should we let more in? Should we let less in? You understand that people think the pie's being cut too narrowly, and some people want to keep people out for a while. Do you think that's not the American way, though, I guess, right?
Well, we're still thinking back per the inscription on the Statue of Liberty, and what I don't have a solution to the problem, but I'm questioning why we don't even have a cogent dialogue about the problem, and it's largely because of political and economic forces within the country.
That nobody speaks the same language anymore.
And that, but you know, like a Democrat in Congress won't raise up the idea of immigration reform because the downtrodden in our society traditionally vote Democratic. A Republican won't bring it up because Republicans overall are about business, and immigration, illegal and otherwise, provides a cheap labor pool. Also, anybody who has brought up the idea of immigration reform has been confronted by the lobbying groups of all nationalities who are trying to continue to encourage the influx of individuals. But it's only going to heat up because we're not discussing it. Do you know that in the next 5 years, over $1 billion a year in entitlements is going to be given through Social Security to foreigners who have immigrated to this country and not put so much as a dime into the system?
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch.
Gonna cause a fucking riot, Phil.
Well, that's why I'm here today to talk about the new American Nazi Party. We're not just against gypsies and homosexuals anymore. No, I don't have the answer, but you know, I mean, why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't we talking about it?
Well, because this place is, for a place that's built on open discourse, you know, there's no more closed-mouthed, closed-minded place in America. If you say anything that looks like you might want to keep people out for a while till we get our feet on the ground, you're going to be killed as, you know, just being an anti-foreigner. And, you know, so everybody just shuts up. But the fact is, can't the least we do is just ask that you register at the border? I mean, is it that much to ask? Are there countries? I mean, can I walk into like Saddam Husseinville and just start setting up a discotheque or what? I mean,
not a chance. No other country. In Japan, they have a saying, which means
you puked on me, Mr. President.
Exactly. No, that means you don't set foot in my country, white devil, unless you buy a 50-inch television set. No, we're nutcases over here. We really are. And you know, in Los Angeles, which has the worst traffic in the world, you know, the tension is running so high. I like Hispanic drivers. They're nice and slow. They got the low riders. They're down, you know. It's the Asians. Never use a turn signal. Coke bottle glasses. Who won that war anyway, people? No, how's this? You want to get pissed off? How's this for a law? A pregnant woman who sneaks into the United States and has a baby in this country, that child is automatically a U.S. citizen. How do you feel about that? Has all the entitlements that you have as a lifelong taxpayer. You know, no other country in the world has a policy like that.
Well, you know, the state of California will not recognize same-sex marriages for the purposes of spousal medical benefits. So what a lot of the gay community now are doing is moving down to Mexico, setting up citizenship there, coming back here as an illegal alien so they can get their health care paid for. We've got a phone call for you. We've got line 7. We've got Polly from Middletown, Ohio. Polly?
Hello?
Polly?
Yes?
Want a cracker? No. What's your question, dear?
Yeah, my son works with an illegal from Mexico, and they live out in my garage. And I was wondering.
Wait a second. This is like Sling Blade 2. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, my son works with an illegal from Mexico, and they live in my garage. And I was wondering if I could go to jail for harboring him.
Are they paying you rent?
No.
Well, you're just a sucker, ma'am.
But if they were paying me rent, could I go to jail?
Yeah, you could go to jail, but you'd have money to buy cigarettes then. Okay.
No, you know, but this brings up a point. I mean, to me, it's not a racial issue. I don't care whether you're from Honduras, Mexico, or Chechnya. You know, if you come here, it should be under the auspices of law. That's all. And then there's what they call chain immigration, where when a family comes here from a foreign country, then they start bringing in grandma and grandpa and brother and sister, and they all go
I know how
on
that
Social
works.
Security.
I had an immigrant mailed to me the other day. I was supposed to mail him to 10 of my best friends, and the postage was a lot because the kid was heavy. All right.
But you know what it is, Dennis? The United States, as much as anything, the government of this country is a corporation that oversees a multiplicity of other corporations. And immigration, illegal and otherwise, is good for business. That's why it isn't stopped, in my opinion. It's because every immigrant buys gasoline, food, clothing, watches HBO. They are consumers. They pay sales tax, even if they don't necessarily pay income tax.
Right.
And they feed the system.
So it all becomes a bottom line thing.
I think so. It all becomes part of the big
machine.
The big machine.
Which dictates right now that I have to do the news of the week. Can you stick around while I do it?
Watch me.
Felipe Hartman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Phil. All right, here we go. Here we see a dermatologist attempting to remove Newt Gingrich from an otherwise attractive wart. Why is this black man talking to me? Is someone going to remove him? Hello? I have a black man sitting right next to me. The Republicans unveiled an experimental program for low-income housing this week. Oh, man, I knew I should have had them put a whiz pot in this thing. Here we see German Chancellor Helmut Kohl using a special pair of rose-colored glasses to examine his country's past. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Where's the booze? I think I just called Prince Charles sugar cakes. I better slow down. Or should I? Part of the safety problem on China's national airline is probably their policy of having passengers do their final safety check. Here we see whistling champ Chris Ullman. He loves the whistle, just loves it. Whistles every day. Once again, whistling champ Chris Ullman. Well, Mr. Williams, I think we found out what was causing you to itch down there. There was only one thing wrong with Dirk wanting to be a stock trader. Numbers made him dizzy. Generally speaking, do you find in the past year you have less time or more time to eat your boogers? Once again, Chris Ullman. All right, we got two on this one. With no other options in sight, hostage negotiators have brought in their secret weapon. Ventriloquial Archbishop Cipriani, and trailing behind him in the case is Kiku, the dummy of reason. That's the weirdest fucking joke I've ever told. Or, I don't fucking believe this. I have to fucking walk to the fucking rent-a-car place because my fucking ride doesn't fucking show up. Yeah, Red Leader, this is Larry the Temp. What was that, a turn right, or your right, or my right, or what was that? Petey didn't like swimming. Petey didn't like cold weather, or the taste of fish. Petey was a loner. And, of course, this week in Pamplona, Spain, it was the annual running of the testicles. Old and senile Kim Sum, China's oldest pimp, still showed up for work every day. Here we see the employee at every cheap motel whose sole job it is to place a single stray pubic hair on your pillow. Well. It's official, Cirque du Soleil has run out of ideas. Here, children observe their science experiment, dropping over 1 million pennies on top of a live hamster. Once a top comic book hero, the Shadow now works the hot wax gun in a Hollywood car wash. Here's Amtrak's new high-speed train designed to derail in less than half the time of the conventional trains. This is an illegal alien filling out an application to be an immigration officer. And here we see Joan Collins return to TV in Aaron Spelling's Pacific Palisades. I'm not calling you a liar, ma'am. I'm just saying your husband doesn't look 38. For the 20th year running, the biggest attraction at the Big Apple Circus is Tony, the elephant that shits exactly at noon. And finally, the Dallas Cowboys unveiled their new uniforms this week. Guess what, folks? That's the news. I'm out of here. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.